all, Ron here, the Accidental Farmer. Today is a little over a year since we've purchased this property, and I figured I'd show you around and show you what we've accomplished in the first year. It's been a busy year, and I'd love to show you what we've done. One of the first things we were able to do is put a new roof on the barn. We didn't know it needed one, but it did need one. And then we repaired and had the barn painted. I didn't paint myself, did some of the repairs, but I can't do everything. So anyways, barn's looking a heck of a lot better there with the new fresh coat of stain. Also, the little, I don't know what you call this, storage shed, I put my tractor in it, that got a fresh coat of paint also. Actually, that was vinyl siding, it was white, and we decided to make it match the rest of the house. Over here behind me, the original compost bin and then the new compost bin. Obviously the new one is new, but I didn't even know when we purchased this property there was a compost manure bin over there. This was so overgrown you couldn't see through it, and we couldn't even see that. I remember first finding that and then having to walk alongside that fence just to get to it. Anyways, cleared that all out and built a new compost bin so we can make compost. In the front of the house, we had some walkways done. We had one here, we had one over my in-laws, also had a new driveway put down. Unfortunately, not everything got completed. We're still looking for that contractor who started the work. Also, the white fence behind me. Local contractor was nice enough to help me out here. Put this beautiful white fence all the way down the front of it. It's just as kind of like a finishing point to the house. The house needed something like that, so that was another thing we had done this year. The farm stand. We built a farm stand. We actually sell eggs here. We sell some wood for fire pits and such, and veggies. The veggies here, we let people just pay what they can if they can. If they can't, well, let's share then. If you can see all the wood fencing, there's about 300 feet of fencing there running up the street. We cleared all that. You couldn't walk on the sidewalk at the time we purchased the property. We hired a local landscaper, did a great job, cleared that all for me, and I was able to then repair and stain all the fencing. And as we go this way and this way and this way, there's more fencing. The area behind me, which looks still overgrown here, this was a giant tree that had fallen and filled this whole area up and took down all this fencing. Able to remove the tree, cut it all up, build some fencing. I don't know what we're going to do with that area, but I did try to plant some things down there, and they just didn't take, or something ate them. But behind me is the next big thing. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, behind me here is the large, what we call the sheep field, although we don't use it for sheep. We named it this way as someone walking by one day said, oh, the old sheep field, so that's what we call it. This area here was cleared. Last year it had a lot of saplings in it and trees probably up to 3 inches. So we had a skid steer. We hired a company, local company came in and cleaned it all out, hauled that stuff away, took out all the old wood and trees and debris and things like that. We did let it grow up. It's probably about waist high right now. We'll mow that all down again this year and make a plan for next year. As we look over my shoulder, you'll see all the brown fencing. All this brown fencing has been repaired, restained. It was just time. You know, it was a lot of it was missing, it broken. Even after a year of staining it, I do see some places that need some touch-ups. So it's been a lot of staining. This is I'll just mention, I've mentioned in a couple other videos, is that's 35 gallons of stain. While we're outside the right side of the barn looking from the street, painted, we put a new door on right here. That was saying we took this area here and made this a little area for the smaller chickens. And we'll get to the animals in a minute. And we also have, it's been laying there for quite a while. It's a new door for the other side of the barn. But we're getting there. Some more of the outside. This row of fencing wasn't here when we purchased the property. It had all rotted and fallen in. So what we did is rebuilt it all. All our fencing where our animals are, and we'll come to our animals in a minute, have been wired. We put this wire fencing on the inside because they don't sneak out, or they don't sneak out as often. And then behind me, that is the sheep field. It's a big field. We got to utilize that next year. But anyways, that's the one that was cleared. This area here, although it looks like all the rest, this is the goat area. We penned off this area. This front fence right here was stockade fencing. Was covering up most of this fencing. Did replace a little bit there. Took out the stockade, opened it up, as well as the other side here over towards the chickens. That was all stockade fencing, as well as a pile of sticks, debris like that, about my height. This is our railroad post. This is a sign for the railroad. This is Newton Junction, Newton, New Hampshire. Newton Junction, 4 miles. And as we go around the back side of it, you're going to see M1. If you can see it in the sun, I know it's a little tough. M1, that's Merrimack 1. That was covered in all kinds of debris, moss and green. We were able to clean that up. And then this is the area that had the giant pile of debris. You can still see where it burnt the ground. And then over here we're going to get to is the chicken area. Here I am in the back of the goat area. Once again, all this fencing was repaired and or replaced. The gate behind me replaced. I don't know how many gates I've put up and how many post holes I've dug for different fencing. But as we come over here, we're going to come to the chicken area where we keep our chickens. This area here is all fenced in. Some of the areas have 6 and 8 foot fencing. Everything is 6 foot at least because the chickens get loose. But I can show you some more. Sorry about the bad lighting. So all this none of this was here when we started. This is all newer. We have one coop. That's the main coop right there. And then on the side of it, that area over there, that's an additional coop. When we added some more chickens, I put an addition on there, a little walkthrough inside. Currently have 50 chickens in this area. Not all of them are laying, but a good majority are. Here I am in the back side of the chicken coop. There's an addition on the chicken coop way back there. This is all fenced in the shade. These are some of the chickens we have down here. There's a bunch of them, all different kinds. I think some of them aren't laying anymore, but we have quite the menagerie of chickens. They're all waiting for a snack right now. Let's go check out something else. This is the first of our pets, if you want to call them pets. This is a beehive installed. It's doing great. We have some honey in there, but this will all be left. The honey will all be left for the bees for their winter food. A little work to be done. We took an 8-week course and learned how to do this and get a lot of help from our friends managing the bees. Hopefully we can grow this next year to additional hives. What we have out here is the goat area. I showed you from the other side. Built some structures out here for the goats. We have 8 goats. We have 4 sheep. And we have 90 chickens. Back here, just started rebuilding the whole back of the barn, replacing everything, get that coated paint. Yesterday we had the sheep shed, so they look a little sparse right now. Here's one through the... Some of the sheep clearing this was all overgrown about waist high. I had trimmed it a few times. These guys took care of the rest of it when I allowed them in there. Probably the nicest place I think in the whole farm, what I enjoy the most is this Backfield. The reasoning for us to buy a property kind of on the spur of the moment, we were sitting in the back of our house one day and said, boy, we wish we had a bigger backyard and such, and opened up Zillow, 2 houses for sale, and bang, next day we made an offer on it. And it was largely because of the backfield here. Little did I know it would become a lot more work with all the farming things going on, but this is pretty cool to have. There was the beehive way back there, and it goes on and on and on. It's pretty cool, and it goes through the woods there quite a while. There's 9 acres on this side of the rail trail, and there's 3 on the other, so we're very, very fortunate to have what we have. So over here we have our garden. Our garden's, I don't know how big it is, but it's good size. Didn't do the best this year, probably because of me. And wildflowers, we had some radishes over there, but the garden overall, it's the end of the year now. It's 3rd week of September, and it's looking like it's the 3rd week of September. Now we're in the backyard, our very rarely seen backyard. And the backyard's kind of unique. It's not really used other than by the dog. But what we had here, from the house to the fence right about where that gate is, there was a stockade fencing right down there. So we only had about 30 feet from our main house, which is right here. And they kept their dogs in this area. So there was no grass. There was some water problems. We had to reset over here in the corner. We had to reset all the gutters to go underneath and drain that way. Also, sorry about the dizziness, all the fencing here, as well as behind me, that was all stockade fencing. Actually screwed against the current fencing. I didn't do anything to the fencing. I just got rid of all the stockade fencing one day. Okay, this is a unique situation here. This is my latest project. We're in a little crevice in the house, and that's the foundation to get to the main part of the house. We're having a well put in. Well, the well is in. We still have to do piping all the way to the basement, but they can't get a machine between the house here. This entrance is only about 32 inches wide, so I have to hand dig or pay someone a lot of money to do it, and I don't blame them for charging a lot of money, but you have to get in there, shovel it all 5 feet deep to get it out there. So that's one of the projects we're working on right now. That's a little every day. I have a couple weeks to do it, so every day I get out here and spend an hour and a half digging, and we're getting there. The mess in the backyard. This is the mess in the backyard. This is our brand new well. There it is. There's our new well. 600 feet they had to dig, and then they had to frack it. I have a video showing all that, but twice as deep as we thought we had to go, and we didn't know we needed to frack it. But we fracked it, and there it is. The deck with the dead flowers. We have 4 decks on the house. Pretty cool, all composite. It hadn't been power washed in quite a while. Had to bring a company in to take care of that. That was above my pay grade with the chemicals that they needed to clean those up, and Renew Power Wash did a great job. Thanks for joining me on the recap of our year farming here and doing the repairs and rebuilding the farm. Love for you to follow along with us. You can subscribe, like, comment on the video. Subscribing would be awesome. And you can see a weekly basis of what we go through here, and also some cute videos of these animals. Thanks for joining me.